In the early 1950s, professional basketball is slow, uneven, and nearly unwatchable. The NBA, still finding its footing after its 1949 rebrand, allows teams to hold the ball indefinitely once they gain possession. In 1950, the Fort Wayne Pistons beat the Minneapolis Lakers 19-18 in a game where nearly every possession ends in a stall. Entire minutes tick by without a single shot. League-wide scoring bottoms out at 79.5 points per game, with some matchups barely crossing the 60-point mark. Fans start walking out of arenas mid-game. Attendance drops below 3,000 per night in several cities, prompting urgent concern among owners. The games are too predictable. If a team leads in the fourth quarter, they just dribble the clock down without resistance. Because of that, late-game excitement is almost non-existent. Coaches design offenses around delayed tactics rather than movement or spacing. And by the 1953 season, several franchise owners warned that if nothing changes, the league won't survive another decade. The NBA's slow death forces the search for a fix, one that arrives in the form of a Syracuse bowling alley owner. In 1954, Danny Biasone, owner of the Syracuse Nationals, proposes a radical fix to basketball's growing crisis: a shot clock. After watching years of slow, stagnant play, empty arenas, Biasone develops a formula based on actual game flow. He counts the average number of shots he wants in a game, about 120, and divides the total number of seconds in regulation play, 2,880, by that number. The result is 24. That number becomes the cornerstone of a revolutionary new rule. Each team has 24 seconds to attempt a field goal or they lose possession. The NBA authorizes a test run of the shot clock that summer. In the first exhibition game using it, Syracuse defeats Boston 93-88. The game feels faster, the crowd more engaged, and for the first time in years, scoring resembles a real contest. League officials adopt the 24-second rule league-wide without hesitation. The following season, average scoring leaps from 79.5 to 93.1 points per game, a 17% increase that changes how teams approach every quarter. The 24-second clock lifts scoring to 93.1 points and sets the conditions for Russell's rookie year. From 1957 to 1969, the Boston Celtics win 11 championships in 13 seasons, transforming the fourth quarter into a showcase of defensive control and mental discipline. At the center is Bill Russell, a 6'10 center whose rebounding and rim protection reshaped late-game basketball. In 1962, during his most dominant season, Russell averages 11.2 rebounds per fourth quarter, more than many players average in a full game. His timing alters possessions, limiting second chance opportunities and closing the tempo late. Because of Russell's presence, Boston doesn't just maintain leads, it erases deficits and controls pacing in the final minutes. The Celtics' reputation for comeback wins solidifies during the 1962 NBA Finals, where they faced the Los Angeles Lakers in a tightly contested Game 7. The score is tied 100-100 at the end of regulation, but Boston survives in overtime, winning 110-107 behind Russell's 30 rebounds and defensive presence. Teammates and opponents alike acknowledge that the Celtics play their sharpest basketball under pressure. As the league embraces faster offenses post-shot clock, Boston counters with the opposite: late-game poise and closing speed. The Celtics' control of the fourth quarter turns championship basketball into a strategic finish, and nobody finishes quite like Boston. Their dominance shapes how future teams approach late-game execution, just as a new challenger begins to redefine the pace entirely. In 1967, the American Basketball Association launches with a clear mission: speed up the game and sell excitement. Unlike the NBA's structured half-court play, the ABA emphasizes tempo, spacing, and risk. Teams routinely score 30 or more points in the fourth quarter alone, thanks in large part to the league's most radical innovation, the three-point line. For the first time in professional basketball, late-game possessions become high-stakes swings, where a single shot can erase momentum or flip leads. Because of this dynamic, fans witness comebacks that feel impossible by NBA standards of the time. One of the league's most chaotic turnarounds happens in 1975, when the Spirits of St. Louis erase a 22-point deficit in the final quarter to stun the New York Nets. That kind of finish, driven by fast breaks and deep shooting, becomes an ABA signature. While the NBA initially resists the style, the 1976 merger changes everything. The best ABA teams and players, Julius Erving, George Gervin, David Thompson, bring that high-speed mentality into the league. The NBA absorbs the flash, keeps the structure, and slowly begins to resemble the ABA in crunch time. The merger locks in a new formula for fourth quarters: space, pace, and stars who can hit from anywhere. On May 7, 1995, Reggie Miller delivers one of the most improbable late-game performances in NBA playoff history. With just 18 seconds remaining, the New York Knicks lead the Indiana Pacers by 6 points and have possession. What follows is chaos. Miller steals the inbounds pass, drills a three, intercepts another pass, hits a second three, then calmly sinks 2 free throws after drawing a foul. In 9 seconds, he scores 8 points and flips the score from 105-99 to 107-105. The stunned Madison Square Garden crowd, including a visibly shaken Spike Lee, falls silent as the Pacers steal Game 1. Miller's eruption doesn't just stun the Knicks, it redefines what's possible in the modern fourth quarter. The combination of three-point range, defensive anticipation, and mental composure compresses time in a way previous eras couldn't imagine. Miller's quote afterward, "I'm going to kill them now," becomes shorthand for fearless execution in crunch time. His performance proves that a game isn't over until the final horn, and that even an 18-second window can hold a full script's worth of drama. That night locks in Miller as one of the greatest closers in league history and permanently raises expectations for late-game explosiveness. From this moment on, no fourth quarter feels truly safe. On March 28, 1995, Michael Jordan walks into Madison Square Garden for just his 5th game back from retirement. The Bulls are locked in an 82-82 tie entering the fourth quarter, and every possession carries weight. Jordan, wearing number 45, erupts for 17 points in the final frame alone, knocking down fadeaways, hitting contested mid-ranges, and baiting defenders into fouls. By the final buzzer, he tallies 55 points on 21 of 37 shooting, and Chicago edges New York 113-111 in one of the most iconic regular season games of the decade. For fans, it's not just a vintage scoring display. It's confirmation that Jordan's killer instinct hasn't dulled in retirement. This performance sets the tone for what becomes the Bulls' second three-peat. The message is clear. No fourth quarter lead is safe when Jordan is on the floor. His ability to dictate tempo, punish single coverage, and close tight games reinforces the mythology of the fourth as his quarter. When he calmly tells the press, "I'm back," it's more than a catchphrase. It's a warning to the league. The fourth quarter, already legendary, now belongs to one man again. Sacktown heartbreak. On June 2nd, 2002, the Kings host the Lakers in Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals, a series already marred by controversy. Sacramento holds a late fourth quarter lead behind Mike Bibby's 29 points, including 6 in the final frame, but missed free throws and questionable whistles erase their edge. The game locks at 100-100, and overtime tilts toward the defending champs. Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant combine for 11 OT points, overpowering the Kings inside and burying mid-range daggers. Los Angeles escapes with a 112-106 win, silencing Arco Arena and ending Sacramento's best season in franchise history. The officiating draws immediate backlash. The NBA later fines 3 referees a combined $30,000 for performance errors. In Game 6, where LA shot 27 fourth quarter free throws, becomes a flashpoint in league conspiracy circles. But the heartbreak is real, not theoretical. Sacramento's fluid offense and depth are neutralized in the clutch by 2 generational scorers, aided by suspect calls. The series doesn't just define the decade's officiating debate, it deepens the mystique of the fourth quarter as a place where stars get calls and legacies are decided. In the 2006 NBA Finals, Dwayne Wade turns a 0-2 series deficit into a championship by dominating the fourth quarter like no 24-year-old before him. With Miami on the brink in Game 3, Wade scores 42 points, including 15 in the final frame, to erase a 13-point fourth quarter deficit and secure a 98-96 comeback win. The Heat ride that momentum as Wade follows up with 36 and 43 points in the next two games, averaging 15.7 fourth quarter points over the Final Four contest. His relentless pace, free throw volume, and late game decision making allow Miami to win 4 straight and capture its first title. Wade earns Finals MVP by scoring 34.7 points per game, but his control over the fourth quarter defines the outcome. He repeatedly isolates defenders late in games, attacks the rim, and forces whistles, attempting 97 free throws over 6 games, many in the closing minutes. The Mavericks have no answer as Miami turns each tight finish into Wade's stage. His ability to close out high-pressure possessions at such a young age reshapes expectations for a modern star guard. The fourth quarter becomes his signature, and the 2006 Finals establish his legacy as a clutch-time force. On December 20, 2005, Kobe Bryant records 62 points through 3 quarters against the Dallas Mavericks, outscoring the entire opposing team, which manages just 61. The Lakers lead 95-61, so Bryant sits out the fourth entirely, finishing the night with a plus 34 in just 33 minutes. 1 month later, on January 22, 2006, he delivers the signature scoring performance of the modern NBA, 81 points against the Toronto Raptors. The Lakers trail by 18 in the third, but Bryant scores 28 in the fourth quarter alone to seal a 122-104 comeback win. Bryant closes the game with 4 straight fadeaway jumpers, each more tightly contested than the last, converting tough possessions into clock-draining daggers. The volume and efficiency, 28 of 46 shooting overall, including 7 of 13 from 3, transform a cold shooting team into an unstoppable solo act. In just 42 minutes, he records the second highest single game point total in league history, behind only Wilt Chamberlain's 100. The fourth quarter barrage not only completes the comeback, but cements Bryant's identity as the league's preeminent closer. The legend of the Mamba is no longer about promise, it's about proof. Warriors collapse. On June 19, 2016, the Golden State Warriors enter Game 7 of the NBA Finals, tied 89-89 with Cleveland after 3 quarters, despite holding a 3-1 series lead just 10 days earlier. The defending champs, who set a league record 73 wins in the regular season, shoot just 13.6% in the fourth quarter. Stephen Curry finishes 1 for 6 from the field and fails to convert a potential go-ahead layup. Cleveland, meanwhile, gets 2 defining plays. LeBron James tracks and blocks Andre Iguodala with 1:50 left. Then Kyrie Irving drills a contested step-back 3 over Curry with 53 seconds remaining. Golden State goes scoreless over the final 4:39, and Cleveland outlasts them 93-89 to secure the franchise's first NBA title. LeBron records a triple-double, 27 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists, and wins Finals MVP unanimously. The Warriors' collapse redefines how dominant teams are evaluated, proving that late-game execution outweighs historical win totals in postseason narratives. Cleveland's fourth quarter finish ends a 52-year title drought and alters the perception of clutch basketball across the league. On October 9, 2020, facing elimination in Game 5 of the NBA Finals, Jimmy Butler records 35 points, 12 of them in the fourth quarter, to extend the Miami Heat season. Down 3-1 to the top-seeded Lakers, Butler initiates or finishes nearly every critical possession in crunch time, while also recording 2 blocks and 1 steal in the final 3 minutes. Miami wins 111-108 behind Butler's all-possession workload, forcing a Game 6 and delaying the Lakers' title celebration. Butler plays 47 of 48 minutes and becomes the first player in finals history to lead both teams outright in points, rebounds, and assists, twice in a single series. Exhausted, he leans over a courtside railing with 12 seconds still remaining, too tired to stand upright. His performance cements his reputation as a two-way engine, capable of controlling fourth quarters through sheer volume and resolve. The Heat eventually fall in 6, but Butler's Game 5 sets a new bar for star responsibility in elimination games. On February 27, 2016, Stephen Curry delivers a 51-point performance in Oklahoma City, punctuated by a 38-foot game winner with 0.6 seconds remaining in overtime. He shoots 12 of 16 from 3, tying the then NBA record for most made threes in a game, and scores 15 points across the fourth quarter and overtime while hitting 4 of 6 from deep during that stretch. Golden State escapes with a 121-118 win, preserving their pursuit of the 73 win mark. Curry's final shot prompts broadcaster Mike Breen's now iconic double call, "Bang Bang," as the MVP frontrunner casually pulls up from the logo without hesitation. The shot comes just moments after he re-enters with an ankle tweak and drills a transition 3 on his first touch. The performance encapsulates the Warriors' mathematical dominance during their record-setting season, where high-volume perimeter shooting breaks late-game convention. The Thunder loss drops them to 41-18 and foreshadows their collapse in the upcoming Western Conference Finals. On August 11, 2020, with Portland's season on the line, Damian Lillard delivers 61 points in a must-win game against Dallas, including 22 in the fourth quarter. The Trailblazers, chasing the final playoff spot in the Orlando bubble, need every one of those points in a 134-131 win. Lillard's most crucial shot comes with 1:29 remaining, a 33-foot bank 3 that ties the game and swings momentum decisively. He finishes 9 of 17 from deep and 18 of 18 from the free throw line. The win propels Portland into control of the 8th seed, setting up a play-in berth and extending Lillard's run as one of the league's most clutch performers. His shot off the glass from near half court prompts viral reactions and fuels the Logo Lillard moniker. Statistically, it marks his third 60-point game of the season, a feat only Wilt Chamberlain had previously achieved. The fourth quarter takeover reinforces the narrative of Lillard as a closer and redefines range as a weapon in high-stakes moments. On May 22, 2023, Nikola Jokic delivers a 30-point, 14-rebound, 13-assist triple-double in Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals as the Nuggets complete a sweep of the Lakers. Denver trails by 15 in the first half, but steadily erases the deficit thanks to Jokic's control of the fourth quarter. He adds 9 points and 4 assists in the final frame, exploiting mismatches and directing traffic from the high post. His go-ahead bucket with 51 seconds left caps a comeback that secures a 113-111 win. The victory not only eliminates the Lakers, but also sends the Nuggets to the NBA Finals for the first time in their 47-year franchise history. Jokic, who averages 27.8 points, 14.5 rebounds, and 11.8 assists in the series, becomes the first player to record 8 triple-doubles in a single postseason. His signature one-legged fadeaway over Anthony Davis underscores his late-game poise under pressure. The performance cements his reputation as a methodical closer and repositions Denver as a title contender built around fourth quarter execution. On December 9, 2004, Tracy McGrady produces one of the most improbable finishes in NBA history by scoring 13 points in the final 35 seconds to steal a win from the Spurs. He triples and a steal, compressing an entire comeback into half a minute of offensive precision. Even the Spurs, ranked second in defensive efficiency that year, can't react in time to stop the momentum. The shot clock era. By 2023, fourth quarters averaged 27.3 points per team, up nearly 5 points from a decade prior due to faster possessions, expanded spacing, and strategic foul management. The rise of high-volume three-point shooting and short clock offensive sets has compressed scoring windows, allowing teams to erase double-digit deficits in under 6 minutes. Because of this, most comebacks now begin after the third quarter ends, not earlier, flipping traditional momentum curves. The final 12 minutes have become the primary battleground for playoff positioning and statement wins. League-wide clutch usage, defined as plays within 5 points in the last 5 minutes, now accounts for 34% of late-game possessions, up from 28% in 2015. Coaches lean heavily on isolation-heavy stars, while defenders are forced into high-leverage rotations without reprieve. The 24-second shot clock and the prevalence of the three-pointer have eliminated safe leads, increasing the volatility of late-game outcomes. As a result, fourth quarters today are less about maintaining control and more about surviving pace swings, and for the NBA's best, mastering them.